go. Okay. Obviously, he can. And takes a lot out of me. But is there another way? Try the same way. Go ahead. So is there another? Go ahead. So is there another way? If I can talk, and he can do. Keep going when you're ready. And he can simply do things, and I can have my tea, or maybe I can have my water, or I can just pay attention and just relax, and focus on bringing back and forth as I wish. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. So we can see that there's something else at work here. My suggestion to you, for getting rid of all fears, the end of the fear, is to live with the fresh moment of energy of life as it happens, be part of the happening of life, rather than part of the death of the recording of happenings in the past, or something you conjure up in the future. Neither one is reality. Only this moment. Imagine yourself in closing. Imagine yourself, you're standing in front of a river. Right? A river from the left side, the mountain side, is coming down and going to the right, and you are here. This is what part of the river pertains to you. This is the part of the river that your eyes sees in front of your feet, and you can see it's flowing, you can see what's in it, what's passing through, what kind of a flow speed it has, what is contained in that water that is passing through. You cannot touch what's already gone. You cannot have any saying about what's already passed to the right side. That water is gone. It's not part of your zone anymore. The part that is coming from the left side, that's your future. It hasn't arrived yet. You can't do anything to it. It's a waste of energy to try to figure out what it is. What can I do? What is in it? What pieces of particles are in it? And you have no control on what's already passed by you. It's already gone. None of them is alive or reality to you. None of them is in your zone. This is, though. So why don't we focus on this that is fresh flow, every moment of it, and every moment of it safe, free of fear or anything that comes from non-existence of happenings. So, if you focus on the very, very, very moment that you're living, your thoughts, your mind, your full attention is at this very precise moment. And this moment is so small and you're so focused on it that your thoughts are neither in the past and the consciousness nor conjuring up anything in the future, and you are living with the actuality of your life. Fear only happens based on things that has happened before or hasn't happened yet. But nothing in this moment that you're so very well aware of it is causing any fear. So the trick is to be in this moment where it's the safest place. Look, if you look in the sky and you see something is flying, and you look, looks like an air balloon, or looks like an eagle. Or you decide on, let's look at pelican. You decide on a pelican. But by the time you actually are reaching to actually, your eyesight hits that, what you're looking at, and you think it's pelican, you recognize it somehow, you're now suddenly thinking, oh, you know what, in Hawaii I saw a bunch of pelicans and they were standing like this, and then there were parakeets there beside it, and then it was so, suddenly you're no longer in connection with this, what is flying. You're in the past, you're in consciousness. You've gone in a different time. You're no longer in the present, which means you're not with the fresh flow of life as it's happening, as it's blooming. You're with what? You're in the past. And you're the living that in that way, which we all do it, the living, what we call living is in death of the past. Because we're constantly perceiving what's happening rather than observing what's happening. If I'm drinking this and think about how it makes me feel, how refreshing it is, rather than thinking, oh, you know, I had such a similar drink in such a place, and you know, it was nice, It was a little lemonish. I'm not here anymore. I'm not with this anymore. I'm in death of the past. So my life changes, qualities change. So the key is to stay focused on the pelican as you see it, or whatever it is, on the eagle, be one with it, observe it rather than try to perceive it, as it does, what that does. If you have a rose in front of you, look at the rose, smell the rose, rather than me looking at the rose. Oh, I saw a rose at my auntie's place. Oh, I remember when I was a kid, my mother used to water the lawns 6 o'clock in the morning, and all the roses that she'd put together smelled. So I picked one and took it to my teacher, and then he had allergic reaction, he sneezed, and I was in trouble. So if I go thinking about all these things, I'm no longer in that rose. I've lost the moment of my life, and life is short enough. We don't want to waste it to be in somewhere in the past. The consciousness that doesn't live is not there. And that's how we deal with fear. Because when you're in that moment, when you're with the fresh flow of life, nothing else is there to happen or occupy your mind fictitiously and create some kind of a worry of comparing what happened yesterday, what it will be today. Will I pass my exam? Will I not do it? Will I have the girlfriend coming back? Will the boyfriend does this? Will I have enough money? Will I have a job? That wouldn't be life, would it be? You got to have this car, you got to have this house, you got to have this, you got to have this, because things we think is going to be the solution to our fears. Well, there are people who have everything, billions of dollars and the cars and everything, but they're not feeling any better than you, because every one of them have fears and dogmas and things in their mind. They just have the suit on and they come in and look like they're free from all these problems. But every one of us is every one of us. Every one of us is humanity. Not that humanity is collective. We are humanity. I am human. You are humanity. Everything that is wrong with me is wrong with you. Everything is good about you can be good about me. But we just got to recognize it's not about control, fear. It's about cooperation and flow with the energy that is happening every moment, and turning life as fresh as it can be by being in the moment, involved with what's happening at the moment, rather than living, having our life and living to the death of the past. Maybe philosophical, but it's true. Law of physics says that when you're bigger, you're supposed to be able to easily lift the smaller.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Without you, I can't do this. So what I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you.
Yeah, no
Thank you very much. So there's something other than what we are in physical being we are represented here. So if that's the case, doesn't that then mean it was my mind, my way of thinking, that changed the equation here? Because I didn't hang anything more on me. You were all here. Something that wasn't physical, right? If it wasn't physical, but my physical being was affected in its performance or it's in reaction, therefore, there must be something else that is actually making my physical being feel, act, react. Because my physical being, by itself, power, muscle, wasn't able to stand up to him. A second later, something changed. He couldn't stand up to me, to the physical entity, couldn't move it. So what was changed? Not physically, something else. So that something else, obviously, could be the part of the iceberg that's not visible, the invisible part of our being, mind and body. Now let's see how this mind produces thought. Where does thought come from? Have you ever thought where thought comes from? Well, let's go a little bit back about 1 million years. When the caveman became who it was, but had no program here, it was just a physical body, no experience, was just born. I don't know how it was, however it was, whatever you believe it happened. The caveman was there, but with no experience, no information of anything. So one day he's walking, let's say, and he stumbles on a rock, and then he falls. Then he learns that if he puts his foot that way on a rock, or somehow that he did, he falls. And if he falls, then there are other experiences. So he gained a certain experience, right? That experience becomes knowledge for him. That knowledge is stored in his memory. From that memory, which through his life accumulates other experiences, other knowledge, other recording in his memory, it creates a field of experiences and knowledges in the memory, which that creates his field where the thought is born. From that thought, which is based on that memory in that field that was created, new action. From that action, new experience. From that experience, new knowledge. That knowledge, again, is stored in his memory. The memory becomes the consciousness, field of the consciousness. And the thought roams around the consciousness, and according to what's in there, thinks of something. Am I dismissed? Can I go? Okay. My pleasure. I hope you enjoyed. Hi.
Good to have you.
Good
to have you. Thank you. Do you have a business card by any chance?
No, I don't. I have a real estate business card, but I don't have. But
Thank you for
my pleasure. Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.